Hello, beautiful souls. Avalon here, and welcome to the soon-to-be some of the last Bonestone Bashes. Of course, I'm here with artist Anaturia, not Honest.
Hi, guys.
That's what your name sounds like when it's mixed together. And we are working on the suit of Pentacles. So I am extremely excited for this suit because it is so far proving to be the most dynamic suit as far as color palette goes. This is a really, really beautiful suit of Pentacles. It is alive with color. It's alive with human expression, and I'm just very proud of it so far, and I'm extremely impressed with Anna's artwork. Aww. So as per usual, I'm because
if I'm looking
you're
down,
very talented.
I'm searching for something, so.
I'm just going to pop out the chat because usually I do all of that, well before. But today I've been a bit derelict in my duties. What's the word that I'm looking for? There we go. I think I'm all sorted now. Yay! So hello to everybody who has joined us today. I'm extremely excited to be sharing the next phase of creation of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot deck with you. The Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot deck, I should say this more often, and so I've been told, the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot deck is an indie tarot deck. It is being currently crowdfunded through my Etsy store. The link to my Etsy store is in the description bar below. This deck will be coming out in December 2018. I'm currently working on the guidebook, and Anna is currently finalizing the artwork for the final suit, which is that of Pentacles. And if you have any questions, please have a look at the description of the item on my Etsy page because everything is there. The dimensions of things are there. The guidebook is a little bit ambiguous at the moment because I didn't know how big the guidebook would be until I finished writing it. Just to give you an idea of how far I've come, I'm well over 30,000 words, and I'm in the suit of cups with the court to follow, and then the entire suit of Wands and Pentacles. So there's much more to be written just yet, so it should be quite a substantial guidebook, in which case it should be roughly the size. I'm trying to find a guidebook here. Let's have a look. I've got the Green Witch's Tarot, so it should be like dimensions wise, it should be this size, but it might just be a little bit thicker. I don't know. I don't actually have experience with book printing in that sense, so I don't know how my word document pages will end up on paper. So just to give you an idea, so the card dimensions are there, the details of the box are there. I keep getting asked these questions so much, and I've already gone to the trouble of writing it down, so I will not be repeating myself over and over again. So I do urge you to have a look at the item description. It's a bloody big description simply because there's a lot to know, and there's a lot that people want to know when pre-ordering a deck that is in the process of being created. So I have a responsibility to give you as much information as I can, but you must also understand that I am incapable of giving you the finer details because the deck is not finalized yet. It's not printed. I don't have it in front of me in a box to do the accurate measurements. So everything is conceptualized, and that is what we are working towards. And I'm trying to be as true to that as I can, and I'm working really hard to make sure that that is a thing. So with all of that said and done, I'm just delighted to be getting to the final stages of the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. And I've got to tell you that I cannot wait to be able to hold that deck in my hand, to shuffle it, to lay it out, to read with it for clients. What a moment. What a moment, guys. So we've got very few bashes left, folks, because we are in the final stages. I have been powering away at writing. I've given myself RSI. I was saying this to Anna. I ended up having to use my phone to dictate via email to try and copy and paste things into my Word document because my wrist was so sore. By the time I had given myself a little break, I'd gone for a big, health and fitness walk with a coven sister of mine yesterday afternoon. I came back. I did no more writing last night, so I really downed tools at about 5, but I also started at 6 in the morning. So I've been putting in some big hours. I fiddled around with things late last night. The nights before, I was going from 8 o'clock in the morning to potentially around the 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So I've just been doing massive power sessions of writing, making sure that, of course, I take a break for food, but very short breaks. So I've really been pushing myself. And I'm not the only one. So Anna, you're responsible for the incredible artwork that is featured throughout this deck. If you've never, ever seen Anna's artwork before, then you just have a look at the Bonestone, because the proof is in the pudding, guys. She's an incredible artist, and she's got so much talent that if you touch her with your pinky finger, you will catch it. That's contagious.
Yeah, and I'm wearing red. I'll be like totally.
So Anna, I'm going to hand it over to you. I'm going to mute my mic and hand it over to you because you've got some reveals to do. Anna's been working on the Pentacles. We've got some beautiful Pentacle cards for you guys. Really, really beautiful Pentacle cards. I saw them, when was it? Last night? Maybe this morning. I think you must have sent it last night, but I saw it.
It was afternoon my time, so I'm not sure.
This morning then. It must have been this morning. So, yes, there we have it. So we've got some beautiful cards to show you. 4 really beautiful cards, and then we're going to move through and begin creating or conceptualizing the next lot of cards. We've got some loose ideas as to those cards, but nothing has been fully conceptualized yet. So we've got a little head start. The Suit of Pentacles, as it turns out, is the easiest one for me to think about because I'm so earth-centric. So for all the earth signs out there, got a lot of love for you guys. And you're going to love this one. You're going to love it.
I found it was really easy to paint this, like, for some reason, because I work on all 4 at the same time when I paint them. It was just, they were just like really flowing. It took me Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday, so 3 days to paint all 4. And they just like, it was really easy to do. Usually it takes longer. Like I usually establish like 5 days, but for, I don't know, it just, it's earth.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. And there's something so beautifully grounding about the Suit of Pentacles. And I think we talked about this in our last video, Anna, that the Suit of Pentacles in most decks just sometimes feels like a bit of an afterthought, like the other suits are more exciting in some way and Pentacles is a bit blah. So it always seems to be the suit that lacks the oomph. And I can say that to a degree because I'm a tarot collector and I stare at lots of different decks, traditional and non-traditional. I'm not calling myself an expert. I'm just saying that that's my opinion based on all the tarot decks that I have seen. So we decided that we were just going to give an extra bit of life because Pentacles is all about the earth. It's about life. It's about resources. It's about people. It's about the touch and the feel. It's about the physical. And what could be more colorful than that? We are such a colorful race of people. We really are. Emotions, yes, it's colorful, but it's on the inside. It's more ambiguous. Thought, again, colorful, but on the inside, more ambiguous. Don't even get me started with fire, but earth is real. Nobody has to try and conceptualize earth. You can see it all around you, all around you. The air you can't, but the earth you absolutely can. And so there's this level of solidity and this opportunity to really, really go deep into this absolutely stunning suit. And people haven't done it yet. Not everyone, I'm not saying. I mean, there's some decks out there that have done it beautifully. Who am I to really judge everybody? There's some decks that have done it beautifully. And I want the Bonestone to be in the same league as the decks that have done it beautifully. So keep your fingers crossed because even with the best of my intentions, doesn't mean I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there for myself, but it doesn't mean I'm going to get there for everyone. So thanks for letting me get that out. I'm in a venti kind of a mood. Why not? All right, Anna, I'm going to hand over to you. I'm going to mute my mic. Dazzle us. Dazzle. No pressure, but dazzle. I want tears. I want emotion.
All right, guys. So I have here the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8 of Pentacles. I'm going to go through them. So this is the 5. 5 of okay, color is okay. Right. That's the 5. And we have a family. It's actually a large group of people that are taking shelter in this makeshift, almost A-frame wooden structure that they've built. And there's the sky that is very consistent throughout now through the whole Pentacles shoot. And hold on, I'm sorry. If you hear, that's my kids in the background. They're like screaming. This is the wind. Like there's like a lot of wind and motion going through, because we want to get the feeling that there's a lot going on. So they had to take shelter, and obviously, even though they are taking shelter, if you look at their surroundings, there's this lush vegetation, and there's flowers and trees that are green, and so the situation will pass. So there's that element of it's a temporary thing. And then also inside the actual structure, you can see not just a man and a woman, but the entire family. So it's not just them. It's not 2 people. So this is the 5, excuse me, the 5 of Pentacles. Okay, moving on. And then, okay, the 6, we had a poll on the 6, and this is the one that won out. This is, so traditionally you have people that are being gifted money, and there's a stand, like they usually are either kneeling. You get a hierarchy in terms of who has wealth and who does not. Here you can see just the idea of giving, and since this is Pentacles, it's sort of earth. It just made sense to incorporate a little bit of nature in it. And I think, Avalon, you had a little birdie come on your windowsill last time when they were debating on whether it was this card or the other one. So, but this
absolutely, that was right. I had a lot of, and then that afternoon I also had I had extra birds, I had butterflies, I had all these winged creatures, and I'm like, I get it, just shut up.
So here's a hand, that's offering a seed to these little birds. And, they're trusting, they are sitting on, person's fingers. So there's that trust that is involved here also. It's giving and also the trusting and accepting. So this is the 6. Moving on to the 7. So the 7, you have a young man that is gathering mushrooms. He has a little basket on the side, and he's in the process of actually picking these mushrooms. He's harvesting them, and his attention is focused. He's found the ones that are obviously good to eat. There's a satisfaction in that, and so initially we were going to go with truffles, but we decided on regular mushrooms. And again, you have the sky that's present. And I'm going to post the cards, right after the show, the bash, so you can see how it's cropped and all that. But this is the 7. And the last but not least is the 8. This is the 8. And here you see this blacksmith, and she's carving this sickle, the handle itself, and she's crafting it. She's working on it, and I'm going to flip it around so you can kind of see that there's a skull on it. And you can see the flakes of the carving, and actually in the card itself, the handle and it's going to be glowing. So this area is going to have a glow with it. but that I did in Photoshop. So you'll see the actual glow on the Facebook page. And we have her wearing a feather. She has a couple of beads. She has in her braided hair. There's, you know, this idea that she is a master at her craftsmanship, and she even has some freckles. Freckles. Okay, so those are the cards. Flip it this way.
Sorry, I've lost my bookmark and I was just like, ah, shit. I've got so many, sorry to swear. I'm trying to curb my swearing. I've just recently discovered that my children watch my YouTube videos, and so I may yet have to place some restrictions. But I have some stuff here for our next stage, which now I'm rummaging through to get to. But I would just like to say thank you to Anna for all of that beautiful work. I'm telling you folks, I'm super impressed with this suit. I love all the suits, don't get me wrong. The earth sign in me says, love this one harder. And I do. So typically, if you were to ask me, the suit of swords is my favorite. But I love the suit of pentacles and the bonestone. I love it. I love it. I think we've gone such a beautiful way, and really bothered by the fact that I can't find my bloody thingy.
Some of the comments here. I'm going to go through the comments a little.
Thank you. I'm just give me a second because I've got to find this thing that I'm looking for, okay?
So Lisa Papez, you like the fact that we have a woman? Yes, that was decided last time. I believe we had initially a man and then we went with a woman. But yeah, I'm happy we chose that too, because I think we have a lot of men in the suit of pentacles so far. We have like a spider, and so some female energy is needed. Let's see. Yes, that is a braid in her hair. I'm just going through. Pixie dust. Ha 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 ha. I taught you how to scry. Yes, I scry with my crystal balls. I have. Oh, I can't flip it around, but I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have like a ton of crystal spheres, and I just love to do that. But you can scry with paint, like a ink tube and water. So, but that's just one way. Anyway, what else? Thanks, guys. I'm glad you like them. Yeah, she does kind of look a little bit like Bridget, right? Huh. Maybe it's the red hair. Maybe it's the red hair that makes her like have that Bridget air. So, oh, why don't I do that? Why don't I post? I'll try and post the cards so you guys can watch them. I mean, see them, watch them. Haha. See them exactly.
They're rich in symbolism, aren't they? They're just beautiful. They're just beautiful. They're rich without being like so like, you know, there's a little glyph here and a glyph there and this here, and there's an ant walking across my computer monitor. So I found everything that I needed to. Sorry, guys. Just like, because I've been writing cups and now we're moving into pentacles. They're in different sections of my books, and I've got so many books around me, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to my one primary bookmark? Do you want to see my one primary bookmark?
I just have paper. I just put little pieces of paper. I don't have bookmarks. I mean, I do have bookmarks, but I never use them. That's the ridiculous part of it.
Well, this is what I do with the cards that come with all of my tarot decks. You know, just the business card. Like this is the Tarot of the Circus Magi, but this is just the place card for it, like the title card you would call it. And rather than throw it away, because the backings are so beautiful, you use them as bookmarks. Right. So can we just love it so much? Can we just love it? Because I'm feeling very earth. And just so you know, I've been sitting here talking to my computer all morning. I've had a beautiful, what do you call it? I was in a beautiful interview with Joey Morris today for Become a Living God, talking about witchcraft and spirituality, and it was very earth-centric. I found myself firmly in the realm of earth and the passion that I feel crafting in the realm of earth. I think many of you who practice any form of earth-centric witchcraft, animism, Wicca, you know, anything that is deeply rooted in the earth, you will have an appreciation for this suit. And that's potentially why I'm possibly oftentimes dissatisfied with the suit when I see it in other ways, because what I do in and around the earth, just a little bit more colourful, right? Anna too, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yep. I just posted the card so they can look and see the 8 of Pentacles with a glow, so you can see how they look. I posted them on the Facebook page.
Beautiful. Yes, the glow was important. Anna was sharing her sketches with me, and I'm just thinking, because this is a card of mastery, master over one's craft, detailed work, repetitious work that has led you to a place of mastery. There needed to be a sacred essence to that, because when someone becomes a master, it separates them from everything else. They then become something else. They become elite. They become a professional. They become a teacher. They become a role model. They become something else by attaining that level of mastery. So there needed to be a little magic. So I'm like, can we add a glow? Can we add a glow? Like a Arwen-esque glow. And she's like, we can add a glow.
Yeah, it's easier to add in Photoshop. It's easier to add. Like, glows are easier to add in Photoshop, because then if you don't like it, you can remove it, you know. But if you add it in watercolor, you can't remove it. I mean, you can, but very hard. So
there's a little something of that. But this is a good opportunity for us to have this little bit of conversation. The Bonestone is watercolor artwork. Very few elements are digital, like very few. Like small details like the glow, that would be a digital element.
Yeah.
But very few are digital elements. So it really is a deck of fine art. Anna's is a fine artist with her fine little watercolor pencil, and with her dip pen, and with her inking process, and with her line work. Have you seen these cards, folks? There's no artwork out there like that. I would also like to discuss the fact that I recently had a lovely, lovely, super sweet publisher say to me that the Bonestone was on trend. And I'm incapable of comprehending that, because those who have seen the entire deck so far will know that there are some pretty jarring images. Some of them are pretty grotesque. Some of them are just, you know, disturbing in the sense that they might evoke a particular sensation or a memory that may be a little jarring to you personally. And that's from a more psychological perspective, right? But when it was called on trend, and I'm like, I'm just not aware of what the trend is these days, obviously. I have no idea. I've just got no idea. But I don't think that in 100 million years I would have ever said that the Bonestone is on trend. So that just made me giggle a bit. And I must admit that Anna and we giggled about that, because the first thing that she said to me was, did they see all of the cards?
Because some of them are very disturbing for some people. I know that. I mean, I pay attention to the comments on the Facebook page. I usually don't comment, because I feel people should be able to express how they feel, and sometimes they get a little stifled if you go and you start talking, you know, like they won't really say what they're thinking. So I try to stay, but But yeah, I mean, I know, and you know, it is what it is, you know.
It is. It is. It's not what I would call a gentle deck, and it's not necessarily one that I would even recommend to the absolute beginner, unless the beginner was just beautifully weird, like everybody that likes this deck is. We are the weirdos, mister. I was talking to Joey Morris today. She posted a video yesterday about We Are the Weirdos, mister. And so it's fresh in my head, but that comes from her. Well, it comes from The Craft, doesn't it? We all love that movie. We all love that movie. Right, so let's launch into it and make the most of our time. I think I've gone through all of the details. Oh, one thing that I haven't said is that there is currently, actually I should double check this just to be on the safe side. Just give me one quick second to stuff around here. I'm in a very stuff around sort of a place, I feel, today. And, oh, here we go. There's 231 decks in stock at the moment. So I just wanted to make that a thing because people are asking me. So there's 231 decks left. Out of the listed 800 decks, there's 231, and we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So let's launch in. So we've done the 8, which means we need to do the 9. And did you happen to find the?
Yes, I did. I went in and I looked, and there's nothing for the 9 and the 10. We didn't discuss anything. No, you didn't have any preliminary ideas, but you did say that you wanted Lilith and Baba Yaga for Pentacles for the court. You had Pan for the king and Dionysus for the page.
I feel like I went really good with those ones. Not up for discussion, really, that one. I was like, Lilith needs to be the queen. Oh, no, she's the knight. Baba Yaga needs to be the queen.
No, you had, wait, was Lilith the queen or the Baba Yaga was the queen? Can't remember. I just wrote Lilith and Baba Yaga.
Yeah. I'm just going on hierarchy. Well, you know, I don't know. I just see them more as, they're both very sovereign, though, in their own right. That could be up for discussion.
Lilith is very strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if would she be in the night pain.
Yeah, we'll have to have a little look at that. We'll have to weigh up the archetypes, really. Something to think about.
Yeah. So that's all I have. We can do that
towards the end. So we've got to do the 9 and the 10. So we've got to conceptualize the 9 and the 10. And so what do we know about the 9, folks? We know we know that the 9 of Pentacles, obviously being resources, is a card of attained reward. So the 7 is a card of harvest. It's the process of harvesting. It's that moment where you acknowledge that you are going to reap something. It's not necessarily the full brunt of the reaping, whereas the 9 feels more like the full brunt of the reaping. You've harvested, you've put your delicate touches on the final project, and finally you're able to see those rewards come into play. And so it really is about, it's about like this resplendent moment of, oh my gosh, it's actualized, it's materialized, it's here, it's nourishing from a resource perspective, and you're in a very good place when you reach the 9 of Pentacles. It's attainment, and that's a beautiful thing. So we need to create a card that's all about attainment.
But well, I'm just asking because I'm just asking. I get a very motherly feel from the traditional 9 of Pentacles. You do have the woman that has the little birdie. I think it's on her finger, and she's sitting in the garden with all the pentacles around. and I always get a very like I associate her very in my mind almost like the Empress kind of, but in a more like. So is that something that you're looking to hold, or are you just looking for the attainment thought?
I'm looking for the good moment. I'm looking for that good moment. And without focusing on gender, I'm definitely looking for the good moment. Like there is that baby Empress feel. That's a definite there. And there's an opportunity, but everything around her is like juicy and open. The pentacles are like right there. She's in a landscape. She's dressed beautifully. And it's a moment of satisfaction in and of itself, isn't it? So thinking caps on, folks. Is it going to be a man or a woman?
Well,
does it even matter? Is it going to be an animal?
Should we think of like things that bring us satisfaction, like in general, if you were to like take actions that bring satisfaction?
Yeah. Well, if I'm hungry, it's food. If I've worked really hard for something, it's acceptance or applaud. If I've nurtured effectively, then it's a reciprocation of love. And so I guess there's many things that can trigger a lot of people to feeling that reward. The one idea I just had in my mind is very water, though.
Well, what if you take it in the emotional aspect of it? Okay, like you can show at like things like fruits and money and all that. But what if you focus on the emotion that it brings, like the emotion of satisfaction, of being content, and show that like a, how you like, for instance, you have like the Three of Swords is the kind of the opposite, right? Is that constricting fact. Well, this is at the other end of the spectrum. What if you show the flowering of emotion, like almost like if you had, how a flower,
a person that's literally blossoming with a flower outside of their chest? Is that where you're going?
Something like that, yeah. But like, the idea of blooming, of something that like almost if you got wings, like you're like, because when you feel like you've achieved something, it's like you feel like you have wings, like you sprung wings, right? You're like very free, I guess would be the word, because you've finished something.
Yes. What about somewhere along the lines of, okay, I'm going to throw things out there. No one idea has sat in my brain long enough for me to have a favorite yet. So a fairy and her wings. That's very Tinkerbell, though. A beautiful like crystal find, like somebody who finds a really beautiful like crystal landscape, touches it, and sort of like energy courses up and creates something behind them. And actually physically, like man or woman standing there and the entire inside unfolding out into this beautiful flower, so straight from the heart.
That's just me.
Yeah, so that's three ideas. And then there is just that, that the field in full bloom and just the hands out, like rejoicing for this amazing field in full bloom. Like, and like maybe poppies, because they're bursts of red and they're so colorful. And I recently watched something about the poppy mania at one stage in European history. And there's, because it's Earth, there is a really good amount of stuff. You could almost do like a Garden of Eden type thing as well, like literally the Garden of Eden and everything in full bloom and in fruition, and people enjoy it. Well, actually, no, that's probably more of a 10. That's a 10. Bring that back. Reel it back.
But you could
All right, let's have a look at
you know, like if you had somebody dancing, like for like an action, like for, if you had like say a woman that's dancing, like, you know, that she's the epitome of her craft, like she's achieved that, but you could have her dress be a flower, for instance, like she could just be like this blooming flower, like you could
Just in
have
an
somebody,
unfolding, like in a really
yeah,
beautiful,
like
ecstatic
have
movement.
something like that that will like um the fact like the action, like it would be like she could be moving, but at the same time you would understand that she's content and she's like achieved what she wanted, but incorporate some of that blooming aspect in it.
I like that because then we can add another glow and an audience.
And,
Like
okay.
she could be essentially, she could be up on a pedestal. So the audience wouldn't necessarily need to be super visual, but you could see that it's a performance. She's at the epitome of her craft. She's in full celebration. She's being celebrated. You know, it's that attainment. It's an accolade of sorts.
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah. Like, you know, it could be, I'm just thinking like actually having like petals, you know, like almost like rose petals instead of a dress. Like she's part of her body, like her body will become like the flower, not that she's wearing a flower skirt. Like she's actually turning into a blooming flower.
I like it. So are you thinking about going, so let's say, just to use the example of flower petal, let's say, let's just use the rose just for 1 second. Would you be doing the same sort of thing with her body movement as you did in the moon card with the lunar moths coming out of the hair?
Yeah, like the morphing would be like from, all right, so like I'm not a ballerina, but if you had somebody like standing, you know, doing a ballerina pose, right? So this would be full person. And then as it's going down, like her torso is turning green, it's becoming part of the stem, you know, and then slowly like her skirt would be like a petal, you know, it's like she would be like she'd be part flower kind of. You'd
Yeah,
need
okay, I like it.
you'd need her legs to be fully human so you can kind of see the whole figure, so you wouldn't think that she's something else, you know. But she could be,
Yeah.
parts of her could be, you know, like you could have her hair turning into like leaves, like she would be bloom, like she would be a rose in dance.
A bit of a green woman feel.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. So perhaps like the living stuff in the very long hair, like it has to be very long. That hair has to be super long because that's the opportunity for vines. That's the opportunity for leaves and.
Yeah. And if you wanted an audience, like because you like, you know,
We
you
could put
want
the bird.
the what?
We could actually put the bird in this one. We could put a butterfly. We could change the bird to a butterfly, but we could do the butterfly.
On her finger?
Like just like if she's like, you know, ecstatic, like whatever her hand up here's doing, there could be a little landing of something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. You can put that in, yeah. But the people, like if there's somebody looking at her, I think that you should not have people crowded around her. Like you shouldn't see the, you know what I mean? So they shouldn't block her view. Maybe
No.
behind her, like she'd be in front, almost like okay. So imagine there's a stage, right? And I'm using my cup as an example. This is the stage, and she's in the middle. There's people on this side, and you're in front, so you're the viewer. So you're not seeing her blocked. You're seeing the people behind her, but not the people in front. Okay,
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's exactly right. So there's no focus on the people. It's just like, you know, it's a presence that's not, you know, acutely detailed. The focus is her up on her stone stage, her stone pedestal. It's got beautiful little leaves, very natural, very nature oriented, and just her just in this salubrious, ecstatic, expressive moment.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, and
I would like for her to be like violin curvy, like really give her some like woman shape.
Okay. I mean, how curvy are we talking? Like really curvy? Or?
Just see who pops out of your paintbrush.
Okay. Let's see what some people had some ideas, so you want to go through
Okay,
and
let's go there. Let's go there. Making, okay, here we go. Here we go. Whoa, whoa. Okay, you guys have typed so much. I love it. There are images that don't sugarcoat. Okay, depends freaking. Okay, I've gone back too far. Bonestone Bash. Okay, come on, get me. 9 is like an exhale, the moment where you get to really take in the benefits of your work. I get Lilith as the Knight. She's got that female warrior vibe. Yep. Duly noted, Angela. Thank you. Falling into baskets. That was a little bit of the 8 or the 6, actually. I think that was a little bit of the 6. The basket of women, that was the 6, wasn't it? Like we had briefly touched on that.
Yeah, that was supposed to be the 6, but then we had the debate and
that's right. And then also with that idea, the 9 of cups is also someone like pouring things into people's cups. Surrounded by beauty and love. Yes, we can attain that. What brings satisfaction? Crossing items off a to-do list. Damn straight, Jamie. My sister honors Lilith and she describes her as a fierce warrior energy type. Elizabeth, thank you. Feeling her for the night then, so far. Mine's not made up yet. What card are we? Bunny kisses. We're talking about the 9 of Pentacles. Making a meal and sharing it with a large group of family and friends. Jamie, that's a little bit more 10 of Pentacles. The feeling when a big project is completed, standing back from a finished piece of art or writing, for example. I like that too, Lisa. I think that is part of the energy that's also in the dancer. She's finished. You know, she's expressing. She's ecstatic. It's a celebration of that. You know, some people dance when they're happy. Some people sing. Some people hug. Some people cry. Some people dance. My daughters dance when they're happy. Like a checked off a bucket list. This is having items of resources around. Yep. Or nature or resources. Total contentment. Yes, I think we can embed this in. I think those photos, landscapes filled with good food. I like where you're going with this one, Jamie. The photos of beautiful tablescapes filled with good food. That, however, makes me feel like the Last Supper. I don't know why. There's something in there. But, yeah. When all is so right that you feel joyful and super relaxed. Yes. Okay. Keeping on. Floating on a cloud. Potentially. There's a floating on a cloud. Cloud 9. I like the idea of mother at the end of the day. I can certainly relate, but I don't know if the feeling in content as much as relieved. Did you read that one, Anna? I like the idea mother at the end of the day. I can certainly relate, but I don't know if I'm feeling complete and content as much as relieved. The day is over and just enjoying a moment of solitude.
You know what? Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, we should show a mother and the children asleep. That is the feeling of contentment. That represents the 9 of Pentacles perfectly. And a glass of wine in her hand.
That's a beautiful card, you know. Many people can relate to that. We've got 2 solid options, folks. 2 solid options. There's an element of being able to breathe freely, enough resources to feel safe and comfortable. Yes, absolutely. That's also a little bit of 9 and 10 of cups. 9 in particular of cups. A person standing in the middle of a chest cavity open, with both hands and their contentment coming out. Oh, like it's a little bit gory. I like it. I like it. You said chest cavity, and immediately I think of, you know, something else. Feeling blessed. Okay, we've got some good ideas. Pixie Dust, to answer your question, pre-orders are available until they sell out. There will be no others available up thereafter. That's something that I should probably say as well. I've received a lot of questions regarding pre-orders, in the sense that, well, if I don't order and it goes to pre-orders and the pre-orders have been sold out, then, you know, when would we be able to purchase the deck? I will not have very many left over, and I'm not contemplating a second print run. So that is it. So I have put 200 aside. I've explained this before. Some of that goes to, you know, in the safety zone, you know, component, just in case there might be a deck that's faulty. And then I'll have to send a replacement in that case. So just in case, because printer faults do occur. And then whatever I've got left over, basically that's what I'll have afterwards. And that will be it then. Blue to Wed. I had to look her up because I'm not familiar with her. Looks like Ours and Always with her. Yeah, she's made out of 9 flowers. 9-fold blessings. And Blue to Wed means flower face, by the way, for those who don't know. Her story, though, paints her as the betrayer of men, which she is not. I know Blue to Wed. I work with her at springtime.
I actually did a lot of research on Lilith when I was sculpting her.
You did?
Yeah.
I like that. I do like that. She has come twice in a spirit work session, and I've got to tell you that if she's one of the deities that steps forward in a spirit work session, I'm done for the whole day. Done. I cannot do another reading, another session after her. She stays with me for fucking weeks. That's not a complaint. I'm just saying she has a weight to her. Anna, you would know this. She has a weight to her. She has a sultry, like, it's, I can't even describe it. It's like going into a dimly lit room with people dancing and in weird ways, and the light, and there's like drink, and there's like a snake wrapped around somebody's arm, and it's all very sultry, and it's very intense. It's heavy energy, smokiness. A glass of wine, more like a bottle.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, interesting. I've not heard of Blue to Wed before tonight, so I'll have to look up more. Yes. Kindred to Owl, betrayer of men. That's right. She's not really a betrayer of men. She just got she just got hard done by. I had to look her up. Okay, so I think I've gone through most of the, sounds like queen material to me, the deep sensual feminine energy. Yes. Yeah, wait till you hear about Baba Yaga, though. Then you can make your decisions. Then you can make your judgments. There we are. As a mother of older teens and adults, contentment is found in seeing my adult children move forward with their life path and being present as their, that's very nice. The colic. That's a good one. Did you read that, Anna?
No, I lost I'm looking for the YouTube. I lost my chat.
Oh. Well,
okay,
somebody here, Witch Up the Road, has said, Anna, I'm setting money aside and hoping that you'll be able to sculpt the colic.
Sure. After I'm done with Bonestone. I had a couple of people who wanted to commission some sculptures, and I was like, I cannot, I'm like a 100% individual when I do something. So that usually, like a statue usually takes about 2 weeks to make. And so like 2 weeks of every single day working on it. And once we're done with the Bonestone and Earth Flesh Tarot, I will reinstate my custom
Sculpting.
for sculpting.
That's fabulous.
In what are we, April? So May, and May, I'm thinking we'll be done by end of May, to be honest, but that's just me.
Yeah. We've got a little ways to go yet, and a few little final touches here and there, and all of that good stuff. But I did a recent favorites video and featured one of Anna's statue in that favorites video, and anyone who's ever had a reading with me may have seen my Emanja statue. They're both Anaturian originals. And you may get some people going, Anna, saw your statue on Avalon's channel. Sorry, mate. You know, it's love. It's because of love that I share it, and then you get inundated over there, and you're a wonderful kind.
I love sculpting. I made wands and stuff. I'm like, I have different. I have periods. Okay, I got periods of sculpting, painting. I go through phases, so. You know.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I have to.
I think I've been interacting with you online for damn near 3 years now, and you've been a painter, a sculptor, a crafter, a sculptor, crafter, painter, sculptor, crafter. Like you, it's just a beautiful little trilogy of yumminess that happens.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got two solid ideas, because I know that people were joking, but I actually think that, you know, putting your kids to bed at the end of the night and enjoying a glass of wine it seems like the most simple of acts, yet it brings the deepest sense of satisfaction, relief, and accomplishment. Holy shit, I didn't kill them today. Look at them sleeping. They're so beautiful. I can't believe I created that. See, I love this wine so much. It's my best friend, and I never want to be without it. And then, you know, D, there is A, B, C, D, E, F, whichever one we're up to. There's this sense of safety in the card as well. Like there's the roof over the head, and there's that resource, that very important resource that, you know, that signifies that you're doing a good job, that you've got a roof over your kid's head, that they're safe and they're fed, and that they're sleeping, and that they're content, and that you can enjoy a wine, because that's incredible. And then you've got the beautiful woman dancing as a flower, a full expression. Now, for many, it may be easier to digest flower woman, which is what we're going to call her now, flower woman, because not everybody has children. Not everybody will understand the satisfaction of putting young children to sleep in their life. And I would hate to put that out there, and for people who have it, you know, who are unable to have children, to feel that little, you know, and perhaps the understanding from the other side of the coin wouldn't necessarily be there. Or would it? As a mother, I don't know. So you tell me.
Honestly, as a mother, yeah, you get it. But if I was not a mother, I would probably not get it. I mean, I would get it to a degree, but not 100%. Like I'd be like, you know, I would. When I was not a mother, my association was with when I was working. Right, I had long hours, and I would come home, and I just the getting home and just sitting and with a glass of wine. That was it. Just like resting, like in a couch with a glass of wine. It was always, the wine was always present. Don't make that. It's always present in both instances. But, you know, that was my, like I did, you know, just the rest part, the sitting down part was but now it's like, you know, it's a little different. So I guess it would depend. The other thing is, and I'm just saying, I have to point it out because I know somebody will. I am going to play devil's advocate here. Some people might not drink and might have issues with alcohol and drinking. And maybe they have, you know, that is their you know, they're in AA, whatever, and they don't drink. And seeing a glass of wine would not necessarily make them think of relaxing. And you know what I mean?
Well, does it have to be wine? Can't it just be a cup and maybe a piece of food?
Yeah,
you can think it's wine. You can think it's wine. I'll think it's wine. It's created it was created, folks, as a glass of wine, right? But it doesn't necessarily need to be depicted as a glass of wine. It can be grape juice. It can be the liquid will not be important. It's the moment of contentment to be able to eat maybe potentially a hot meal, because y'all know that when you have small children, your food is never hot ever again. And you know, a glass of just a drink, like that's a very simple pleasure. It's a very simple pleasure.
Yeah.
My husband doesn't drink, but if he can get himself a nice sparkling mineral water with some lime and sit down with, you know, something to eat, that's his happy moment right there. And he doesn't need alcohol to get there. So, you know, the symbolism is the same.
Or a fresh glass of lemonade on a table.
There you go. You could just have like a bottle of wine and like glasses of wine on a table, and that's all you would need. It's like ready, celebration time. No, but honestly, and when you conceptualize this card even further, this is the mother archetype card we're talking about here. Like, it wouldn't be a room, it wouldn't be a door, because it's Bonestone. It would be some kind of a hut. And
I got it. Somebody said coffee. You know when you put the coffee and then you have the like the foam, right? They have like different things coming up in the phone.
Yeah.
You could have a skull and
Divination by coffee froth. Divination by tea leaves. How about them apples? Yes, I love it, Anna. We need to do a parody tarot, hey? A modern parody tarot. It'll be fun. Right, well.
All right.
Does anyone else have ideas?
Let's go back.
I think I need to make another cup of tea. So what do you want to do, Anna?
What?
What do you feel like doing? I've got to make another cup of tea. And
I'm just going to read through the comments.
Oh, okay. Well, if you go through some of the comments, if something else pops up, folks, feel free to throw your I can't think of the word now. Suggestions. Feel free to throw your suggestions forth at us, and we will definitely contemplate them and try to infuse them into our artwork. If something's really, really good, it could be it, you know. We all remember Merlin, aka the Page of Swords. That was a really, really good idea. All right, I'm just going to mute my stuff. Anna, if you want to go through it, talk to some people.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, don't wake up. I should just reading through the comments. I'm sorry, that's funny. Witch up the road. Don't wake up, don't wake up. Yeah, it's exactly it. Especially like sometimes in the morning when they're sleeping. It's like, don't wake up so I can make a cup of coffee. Anyway. Okay. The mother always says one of her favorite feelings is when all the children are together and she knows exactly where they are. Yeah, that's a you know, but that thing is it's very hard to depict thought because you're contemplating, you're thinking about where somebody is. So the idea that you'd have to show like the multiple people in their different places and you're content because of that like that's more of like almost like a story in itself. It's kind of hard to capture in one visual. That's the only problem with that, but the idea is good. Hi Christina, you made it. Family of deers and the father and children asleep while the mother is having a drink from the spring river. That's a nice visual. Still digging the field of Crystal's idea though. Yeah, that could work. The fact that she could get infused with the crystals and have like spring wings. That would be a cool visual too. Coffee and chocolate. I love hot cocoa. Cup of chocolate. Finished book or deck with the creatix pausing over it to acknowledge the finished work. Yeah, I mean, if you showed somebody like looking at have like the things laid out on the table and you're like looking at them, that would work. But it's a little tricky because then you'd have to like, it's that border between somebody that's still working on their project versus something that is finished. Because sometimes when they look on, like when you have a project and you're looking on it, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're done. You like if you see somebody looking over, say, a map, they're in the process of defining something. So contemplation over objects usually can sometimes, just pure contemplation would not necessarily mean that it's finished, visually speaking. The crystal idea would work only because you would see the stuff kind of going through the arms and springing the wings, so forming the wings. So that, because it's a direct motion, so that would work visually. Okay. Mayan goddess, I can't pronounce this, Ixchel? Did I say that wrong? Holding a cup of coffee surrounded by coffee plantation. I have to look into this. Let me just do a search. I've never heard of this goddess. Let me look. That might be cool. I see she's with a rainbow in some instances. Is that symbolic of her? Is that something that is common? Okay. Hi, Morgan. So we're creating a tarot deck. Avalon is creating a tarot deck and I'm the illustrator, and we are brainstorming cards right now. We're coming up with ideas for the suit of Pentacles, the last suit in the deck. And we are on the 9 of Pentacles at this point. Nicole, you never agree with the ideas, but see the final images and you like them. That's good. That's good. You know, you don't have to. I mean, it's very hard to honestly to find something that is 100% fits with you. And I know that from experience. I've very few decks that I'm 100%. I mean, probably, to be honest, I don't think there's one deck that I'm 100% with. I mean, there's cards that I like, and then there's cards that I don't like. And some decks have more cards that I like, and then I use those more. And the ones that have less cards that I like, I don't use so much. So, but I don't think I have a deck that has all 78 cards that are absolutely perfect, and I can totally relate to it. Because there's going to be some card that is not going to speak to me. There's just so much variation in the deck, and we are such individuals and with our own cultural background and experiences that it's very hard to have those two things mesh exactly. And honestly, after creating a deck myself, I can tell you, and I'm talking about the Oracle deck, that even after I've created it, and at that point in time, I thought, yes, this is it. I love it. It's perfect. after having it for a while. I'm like, I could have done this differently. Should have put this card here, you know. So there's always going to be some type of something that is not going to sit quite well. And that's the beauty of it, because if it would be perfect, then you wouldn't look for anything else, right? Let's see. The rainbow is because she is the goddess of rain, moon, and medicine. Okay, I can get behind that. I actually think we have. Oh yeah, it's the cups. Oh, there's the card in the cups too. What?
The nine of cups.
Yeah, yes, that has the pouring of the rainbow.
Yeah.
So I was just going through, and there was one comment about the Mayan goddess. I can't pronounce the name. Ixchel. Ixchel. Did I say that right?
Why am I echoing?
It's your living room. Ixchel. And to have her shown before, I believe it was coffee beans in the background, and then her contentment with it.
Ah, I see. Fabulous. All right.
So do we want to move with the what did we decide? Are we going with what for this one?
Look, it's really a decision to be made, isn't it? I'm more honestly, the card of the sleeping baby is more attainable to me, but I understand that it would not be so attainable to others. And so I think dance is something that we can all do to a degree, and upper body, lower body, finger dancing, like we can all do it. We can all do an aspect of it. And there is something quite beautiful to see somebody dancing amazingly. And I don't know, it really comes down to the feel of the crowd here. So what do you feel? Should we just do an A-B? Should we just do a little vote?
Okay, but let's move to the 10, and then I'll sketch a couple.
Okay. All right, so the 10, that is happy family. That's my happy family card. And that's all things come to full bloom, and that's the complete enjoyment of those things. So it's not the recognition and the appreciation of it, it's literally the consumption of it. And it's the togetherness aspect, and it's the familial aspect, and it's the resourceful aspect. It's all your chickens come to roost. Really? That's a good one for the 9. A little bit pastoral, but there's a sense of partaking of food and drink. And so I like the idea of a busy table. I like the idea of there being people reaching over, grabbing this, and lots of food. And, I like the idea of like just a yummy harvest celebration, as in everyone's actually eating and everyone's drinking and everyone's together and everyone's partaking. But that's also a very typical aspect.
Yeah. We know you don't want to be typical, so.
I don't want to be cliche. So I cannot help but think of every idea I have in my head is about children.
Well, you have children in the 5. They are under the shelter, so there are children already in the suit. So keep that in mind. You don't want to make the whole suit with children.
What about a man and or woman and or family who have just built their house?
Like the full house or a structure?
No, the full house. It's the 10. They've got it. It's the day of their moving in, but they've got the house.
Is it a yurt?
Maybe. Can it be a yurt? You know how most people take that photo of them holding the for sale sign out the front of their house, like the happiest time of their life. They're putting a roof over their family's head. It's a photographic moment, right?
Yeah.
It's that, but it's not cheesy, right? So it could be the yurt. Well, can we have a yurt? Can we have a yurt? Really? I haven't even thought about it, but now I'm looking at the yurt.
I have to look. I mean, because this is a very earthy deck. How do you spell yurt? Is it with Y-U-R-T? I have to look I have to see what it looks like, so we can see if we can make it look, you know, more
Bonestonian.
Bonestony. We can make it look bonestony. So it looks like, okay, so the shape is, I mean, we could make it out of wood and keep that shape and, you know, have like
wrap some animal skin around it. Put a little skull at the very top, like to mark the doorway, and, you know, a sprig of holly for the joy.
So, I found something. Oh, you're gonna like this. All right.
Let me get my phone.
I'm gonna send this to you. I wish I could. I don't know how to share this with you guys. Maybe she can show you once I send it to her. Here, I'll put it here and then send it to her. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. Hold on. Let me go to Facebook. I'm going to send it through Facebook. My computer is very slow. I have to take it to the Apple Genius tomorrow because for some reason it sometimes decides to be idle for like a minute and a half on anything that I make it do. All right. So I'm sending you the yurt I found.
Pixie dust. 9 of Pentacles. Cat made of bones because they have 9 lives. I don't know. I'm just getting the bonestone in there. Yeah, that's the stuff. That's a traditional Mongolian yurt.
See? And it looks like it has like, it's like it could be very
That's more or less the traditional Mongolian yurt that Anna just sent me. So it's very pretty.
Or I think this might be the same type, but it looks more like what's the word? Well, it looks like something that people would have a long time ago, you know, like if you were to
send it through.
Yeah. Too many windows here. There we go. All right, so there's this one. And then there's one more.
Oh, yes.
Where's the other one?
Yeah, this is like, that's like very, very, hang on, let me hold it up properly.
Another one.
That's extremely like old school, rustic, rough, very tribal, but still a very comfortable looking sort of a shelter. I mean, it's beautiful.
So, and then look at the last one I sent. So that one's more straight on. Because you can't make it look too modern. Yeah. That's the thing, because of the nature of the deck itself.
That's exactly right. So it can't be ultra modern. And you have to have, like, it has to be, like, the traditional Mongolian yurts, they're beautiful because they give you the opportunity to actually paint. If you've ever seen the inside of it, there's a whole process to it. Woman sleeps on one side traditionally, man sleeps over here. And then the rafters, the actual structure, the internal structure of a yurt is all a color. Like, it could be a red, it could be a green, it could be a blue, and it's all painted. Every bit of wood is painted on the inside with these beautiful designs. It's a very, very beautiful dwelling.
I think once we create, I sent you another one. Once we create this card, you should take it and do a path working and use it magically so you can get your yurt.
Get my yurt on. Oh, that's a beautiful yurt. That's my favorite one, Anna.
I kind of figured when I saw it.
That's my favorite one. Look at that. It's just that it's everything about it. It's the design. Like, I'm going to bring it nice up close. Like, look at how beautiful that is. Like, it's so beautiful. And yes, folks, that's my idea of a dream house.
Let me ask you, where does the bathroom go in there?
Inside. It's inside.
Is it like, would you have like a whole bathroom, or is it more like a outside?
No. Well, it depends on the size of your yurt, but depending on the sort of modern yurt structures, they are big enough to put a platform inside, to put, full kitchens and structures inside that separate. You can also have a little mudroom, so you can put an extra door in your yurt, and rather than make your bathroom and toilet inside, it can just be like, as you would, like just a little hallway, a little walkway out to your bathroom. So
okay, I just had to ask because I see it and I'm like, where does the bathroom go? That's me clicking. I was sending pictures to Avalon, so what you're hearing, like this right here, that's me.
Was that the last one that you've sent? Yes, it is.
Yes,
it appears to be.
Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, so I like the idea of the yurt. I like the idea of we've got to get some food in there. We've got to get some maybe some animals, some just like a set up camp kind of thing. The nomad that set up the camp, and they're having a meal with a yurt in the background. Nice fire, nice pig on the spit. Oh, pig on the spit. Every vegan in the world just shot me then. Sorry, folks. It's not meant to be derogatory. It's not meant to be offensive. We're talking primitive culture here, and primitive culture consumed a lot of meat. Not all of them did. You can research this for yourself. I don't want to get into some kind of a argument, but I think a pig on the spit.
Okay. And are you sure about that? Are you sure you want? I mean, it's just I can see people having a problem with that.
Yeah. When I get together with my friends here, we have these big coven gatherings where all our families show up. There's always a pig on the spit. Happens, folks. It happens.
No, I know it happens. I know.
I know that you're not judging me. I'm just saying.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I come from Romania, so yeah. There's, in the 80s. So this is like communism.
Mm-hmm.
People, whenever, like, they would bring you sometimes a goose, or as like folks from the countryside, if they wanted to, give you presents, for instance, like if you did something nice, they'd bring you. They could give you like a chicken, a goose. They'd gift you the animal. So
yeah, we did that. Like when in Brazil when I was younger, if you wanted to go and have a roast chicken, you went down to the aviary, you bought your living chicken, and you had to kill that chicken yourself. So
yeah,
it's not a foreign concept to me. And perhaps that's probably why I'm very comfortable with it, because I've seen the process from start to finish. I've seen people rear their own chickens and then, consume them. It's, it's a cycle of life kind of thing. But if you are intolerant to animal cruelty, if you have particular diet that is an ethical diet, if you follow an ethical diet, then perhaps that is definitely something that will make you feel uncomfortable. We do have some suggestions here. Megan Remore, that's the first comment that I just saw. With all of the other images, I doubt a pig on the spit is going to be more disturbing than a torn up eagle. Or a man having his eyeball like pulled out. A little bit of carcass action there. Anyways, so we could definitely do the cauldron and people contributing to the cauldron. I think that that's a nice little togetherness thing, like a big cooking pot, a cauldron, not necessarily in the form of magic, but cauldrons were actually once upon a time traditional cooking pots. And so a big one over a fire, people putting things in, maybe some people chopping up some veggies on the side, people just like a scene of a family gathering, but a more archaic family gathering.
And with the background of the house.
Yeah, with the yurt is the background. To the side here, you've got the sky above, sky below, and you might have to zoom right into maybe you won't be able to get the whole cauldron. I don't know how you would put it proportionally speaking, but yeah, a little bit of laughter, a little bit of like human interaction. I think it needs to be a human interaction card.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we could do that. Like, well, what would they be throwing in the cauldron?
Vegetables.
Just like a
doing a big pot of
food.
Of yumminess.
They're pretty much they're cooking.
Yeah, they're cooking. It's not a magical pot. It's not a potion. It's a
okay.
It's not a witch's brew. It's a legit vegetarian dinner.
All right. Do we want to do one more, or are we just doing these two? You want to do the page? Are we at the page? 9, 10? Yeah, page.
No, I reckon we do these two because it's taken us long enough to design them, and it's now, well, we've been on here for
an hour and a half.
An hour and a half. So you might only have time to just sketch out those ones, and then because we've still got to decide between those 2 9s as well. So that's the process.
All right. So the 9, we had the kids asleep and a mom that's relaxing, right?
Yep.
And the dancer, and then the 10 is the yurt.
Yep.
With the family and the children. I'm gonna mute my mic. So do you want to read?
Hey? I think you muted too early. You just said, do you want to? I'm like, what?
No, I just muted it. I said, do you want to read them from your beautiful writings of the Bonestone that you just did?
Oh, I will. I shall dazzle you with my literary finesse. Not. All right, folks. Well, I've been hard at work on the Bonestone book, right? So I wrote quite a bit about, let me see if I can get back there. Okay. Oh, I could pick any card. I could pick any card from what I've written. I'll just go by random. Okay, I'll read the 2 of Cups to you, and then I'll read something from the Swords. Let me just minimize this so you're still within. I can still keep an eye on what you guys are talking about. Okay. So here we go. The Bonestone name for the 2 of Cups is Kindred Spirits. The number is 2. The Sephira is Hokmah, wisdom. Sephira 2 in Bira, which is creation, astrology, Venus in Cancer. So the essence, deepening of a relationship, healing of old wounds, receptivity to love, acknowledging a meaningful connection, kindred spirits, soul connection, love, partnership, marriage, sensual pleasure, relationship symmetry, disunion, selfishness, lack of empathy, conflict of interest, and untrue heart. Narrative. Now, the essence of the card are your keywords, both upright and reverse. So they're all mixed in together. So if you didn't really want to go through the entire process, you could just have a look at something there, and it could trigger you a nice little idea of to what the card might mean in that situation. So the narrative. The meaning of a kindred spirit is one of the most sacred of unions. Such a relationship, such a soul connection transforms the heart and the mind and unifies each in a state of pure love. To find kindred spirits is a rite of passage. Men and women of age are sent on a pilgrimage to explore all tribes of the earth. Such a pilgrimage will take you far. You will traverse mountains, sail over waters, cross deserts, and while braving the elements, these youths will only find home again when they meet with and recognize their other. And so they wander the earth open and ready to receive. In a reading, when the Two of Cups appears in your reading, it suggests a kindred spirit has entered your life. Such an event has a transformative effect on the heart. It blossoms, opening to the world so as to receive. Such a connection is founded in mutual respect, and the establishment of a relationship language has begun to take place. A new phase of sensual expression, beauty, and pleasure may begin to unfold. This may result in a phase of creative expression and the immersion into beauty that truly nourishes the soul. You may find that this phase of sensual expression has a positive effect on your health from a holistic perspective. The Two of Cups may also suggest harmony and creativity through the union of opposites. It is true that opposites attract and that our counterpoint in another can help to complete us or a creative project. Opening up to a partnership like this can prove mutually beneficial. Reversed. When the Two of Cups appears reversed in your spread, it can suggest a relationship has soured and no one can stand to benefit from it. And only one can stand to benefit from it, sorry. I have not done any spell check here yet. Discord and breakdowns in communication may increase as a sense of loneliness grows in the heart. Broken promises and unreliability may prove to be the constant. Because of this, a lack of trust becomes a ticking bomb. The Two of Cups reverse may suggest old wounds from previous relationships are starting to ache once more. You may find yourself repeating a cycle where the events of the past are once again affecting you due to choices that you have made. Acknowledging the cycle and learning how to break free of it may take some help. It's pretty rough over here, folks. Lastly, jealousy, possessiveness may yet be another aspect of the Two of Cups reversed. Such qualities are a disease that will eat away at the relationship until it lies in bitter ruin. Know when it is time to walk away. Don't wait for all to go down in flames. Know yourself. Take back your power and cut cords where necessary. And then you got some journal prompts. That was my Two of Cups. Let's go a bit further back. Bit further back, bit further back, bit further back. Okay, I'll read them. I'll read the Queen of Swords here. Is everyone still with me? Everyone? I think my chat might have frozen. Yeah, my chat's definitely frozen. Hang on. I'm going to have to pop out my chat again. Pop out chat. Here we go. Alrighty, let me just reset up my screen as I had it, so as to make sure. Okay. All right, so I'm going to read the Queen of Wands. I just want you guys to understand too that this is my first draft, so there will be a few little tweakings here and there, but this is what I've got so far. This is basically what I have accomplished in the last 4 days. 3 days, I should say. So I'll read the Queen of Swords, and because we know that was modeled on the Morrigan. So the Bonestone name is the Raven Queen, the character of inspiration. So I've set the court cards up slightly different so that you can understand. The Morrigan goddess from Welsh mythology. The number is 13. The Sephira is Bina, understanding. Sephira 3 in Yetzirah, formation. Astrology, Libra. Elemental combination, water of air. Essence, teacher, diplomat, even-tempered, perceptive, astute, indomitable. There's more to that. So the narrative. The Raven Queen entices a formidable legend. The raven is kindred to her. So too is the crow. Her legacy is that of battle and war. She is sovereign and will bring the sovereign out of those she deems worthy. She is a great teacher. Her lessons, however, are less than conventional. She will push you further than anyone before. You will feel the pressure. You may even crack. But one thing is certain. Once she is done with you, your life will never be the same. The cult of the Raven Queen is indeed real. Fathers and mothers send their daughters to her to be made. The child will later emerge as a warrior of the old ways, skilled in both the art of battle and sorcery. The daughters of the Raven Queen are feared and respected across the land. Even the dead shall know their name. In a reading, when the Queen of Swords appears in a reading, it may mean that a time for diplomacy is upon you. Use your peacekeeping qualities to soothe situations and be perceptive above all else. Cultivate an eye for detail. The Queen of Swords may also call into action your indomitable spirit. Tact and diplomacy will only get you so far. Persistence will get you across the line. Be artful with your communication. Hone the power of the wordsmith. You may find that people become drawn to you for your clarity of thought and rational thinking. Excuse me. The Queen of Swords is fair and just, and such qualities often depict a trustworthy confidant. And so you may find that you are a vault to those who wish to unburden their conscience, as well as seek out a different perspective or a differing perspective. As a person, the Queen of Swords holds a dignified posture and a keen eye. She's the type to fully drink in her surroundings and consider even the smallest detail. She is beautifully articulate and clever with her communications. These are just some of her redeeming qualities. People feel at ease talking to her because she actively listens and responds. This in turn makes people feel heard. She has a commitment to truth and can at times be brutally honest. This may occasionally lead to hurt feelings in another. However, such an outcome is unintentional. She may appear insensitive due to her forthright nature, and she loves a good question. Her body of interests are wide and varied, as she is an avid reader and lover of literature. She may even be a writer. She is a natural-born teacher and knows how to charm when necessary. Reversed. The Queen of Swords reversed in a reading depicts ineffective communication skills. There may be a serious lack of focus that impacts your verbal skills. This could be the result of mental pressure of hidden sorrow. The Queen of Swords reversed may also indicate a manipulative personality with a tendency to belittle and or disparage an individual. The Queen of Swords reversed may also suggest a divorcee, widower, or unhappy single. A tendency to nitpick and be overly critical in a relationship may cause rifts, and loneliness may be a very real thing. Alternatively, you may find yourself smothering or being smothered by another with an overwhelming supply of helpful yet mostly unwelcome suggestions and criticisms. Learn to give people space to grow and thrive. To refuse to do so can show an unhealthy, codependent relationship that may be a greater detriment to you in the long run. The other side of the coin, however, is perhaps the family archetype of the enabler. You may be in a situation with an enabler. Sure, it may be convenient and even a comfortable arrangement, but too much reliance on one individual can lead to coping issues. And should a situation arise where that individual is no longer in your life, it isn't. I think I've missed something. Too much reliance on an individual. I have to finish that sentence. It is important to support others. However, exemplifying healthy coping strategies can lead to a far more beneficial outcome in the long run. That is my queen. And I might have time for one more. Just one more. So I'll go up into the swords. Oh, I'm in the sun. I've gone too far. I've gone too far. I think I read the world out to you guys the other day. So I shall just read this. Which one? Which one? I have journal prompts, Sarah. So I have journal prompts for every single card. I've got at least 4 to 5 journal prompts for each card. Let me find a good one. 6. The 7. It's hard to choose. Maybe I'll go the 8 of Swords because the 8 of Swords is a great love of mine. All right, I'll read the 8 of Swords to you. So the Bonestone name is Bell, number 8. Sephira is Hod, glory, in Sephira 8, which is Yetzirah, formation. Astrology, Jupiter in Gemini. Major Arcana, strength and moon. Essence, helpless, weak, wounded, oppressed, influenced, mental entrapment, negative self-perception, restrictions, pessimism, confinement, imprisonment, limitations. Narrative. Belle is a beauty, a rose in her kingdom, a jewel. But Belle does not see herself as the rose, nor does she acknowledge the many compliments she receives every day. Instead, she remembers the taunts of the children in her youth. She remembers the name calling. She remembers the barrage of criticisms fed to her every day by her mother. I have got a complication of words here, folks. She recalls. Yeah, I've got to fix this. She recalls the suffocating sensation of expectations placed upon her at a young age. She remembers her obligations. Oh, so many obligations. These obligations linger in her mind to this day, quietly confining her. She feels hollow at times and a child at others. She has not yet understood that there is more to life than what her upbringing has taught her. There is more choice, more opportunity, more freedom than she is capable of seeing. She is bound without necessity through her own choosing. And as she stands by the lake, gazing down at her reflection in the still surface of the water, she sees the child in her, bound and broken. It is there, in that moment, that she decides no more. Such a decision works as a powerful catalyst for change. And just like that, her eyes open to a world she once thought was far out of her reach. Then, in a reading, the 8 of Swords in a reading tells us that our thoughts make up our realities, and that at times our thoughts are influenced by outside forces, be they our loved ones, peer group, culture, geography, etc. And so, with this in mind, our perceptions of self may be far from accurate. In fact, our perceptions of self may well be the ties that bind us to ideals that seek to confine or perhaps even oppress. The Eight of Swords may indicate that you may be bound by unjust circumstances at this moment in time. Should this be the case, then know that clear thinking will lead to a differing perspective and an opportunity to move forward unencumbered. Learning to own your power will prove to be powerful medicine in such a situation. Reversed. When the Eight of Swords appears reversed in your reading, it can be a reminder that the mind is a powerful tool, but put it to productive use. Put to productive use becomes a formidable creator. But the mind can also be used as a weapon, and weapons are dangerous. Do not allow your power to be turned against you. Alternatively, the Eight of Swords reversed may herald an awakening to one's power and a deeper, more honest view of the self. Powerful self-realizations can prove the catalyst for lasting change. And I'll read some of the journal prompts for this one. Have you ever held beliefs of the self that were not your own? If you were to speak to your inner child, what would they say? What self-limiting beliefs do you see in the world around you? How about typing in words? What does owning your power mean to you? Okay, so there we have the 8. That's a little taster. How are you going there, Anna? I can't hear you, just so you know.
Sorry. All right. Okay, so okay, I'm gonna.
Oh, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, I have. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's rough, right? Guys,
As is my writing, so we're on.
Don't expect perfection, okay? I've had a long day. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say that.
Nice.
I'm the woman in this picture right now. All right. So for the 10, right? No, 9. So we have the 2 versions. The woman that's put the babies to sleep and she's content. And so in order to do that, I kind of had to flip things. See, can you see?
Ah.
Hold on, let me just pull what you're seeing. Okay. All right, so this would be the card I, cropped. And then, so there's the kids asleep in the background, little pillow tucked in. And then you would see kind of her, she's in the front, and she's like resting on the side, and she's like with her knees tucked, and she has like a glass in her hand. So she's like resting. And you get that kind of like, I'm done.
Yep.
There's a window.
You'll be able to see the sky through the window, right?
Yeah, that's why I put the window.
Yeah.
So there would be the window in the background, and the inside would be kind of dark because they'd be asleep. So the light source would be in the back, and kind of the whole thing would be a little bit in the dark. So you'd see like lights. Maybe we can put like a candle to kind of give it some atmosphere. But that was one. And this is the second for the woman, the dancer. That's like, imagine a flower. Imagine like petals from like a rose petals. Okay. So
that's beautiful.
This is the dancer. There's and on the hand that's like a little butterfly would be. From her hair, you would have like some the little rose leaves. And then
beautiful.
It would be the dress that's like the swirl from inside the rose. Like when you look inside the rose, that's like kind of swirly. And then in the background, you'd see the people. So that's A, and this is B. Those are the 2 versions for this, for the 9.
Oh, I'm kind of liking the flower.
I like the flower too, but
that's. To be fair, I think the situation here for me, and perhaps even you, Anna, is that I genuinely connect with the mother aspect of that 9. I know that feeling, and that feeling is a good fucking feeling, right?
Yeah.
But I also connect with the blossoming of the flower. I think that's a much more universal symbol, and you can really latch onto that one.
Yep. So you got your two.
So we can put to a, we can still put it to a vote. I don't really want to just have you sketch it out there, and some people might absolutely adore it and love it and feel very passionate about having it there, and so we shall put a vote. Would you like to assign letters to each one, Anna?
I did. I put A for the flower and B for the they're on it.
Fabulous. All right, so folks, A for the flower, B for the mother and their children. Okay, so A and B. Let's get them done. It just started to rain.
You have rain back there?
Yep, I surely do, ma'am. I surely do.
You got that American accent there happening.
I caught it off Alora. You can really slide into a nice southern accent.
Lots of A's. I think the A is the winner. I got like 2 B's and
clear winner, head and shoulders winner. Do you know who I feel is missing from this chat today, from our Bonestone Bash?
What?
Natalie. Natalie's missing.
Know. Natalie, where are you, Natalie?
Where are you, Natalie? Somebody message her, because it's just like, I know when she's here. She's so sassy and makes me laugh so hard.
Natalie, you're missed. Where are you, Natalie?
Natalie.
Not in here, Natalie.
Natalie Poulin. Natalie Poulin. Roll call, Natalie.
Go find her. It's like a Facebook.
I think we've got it. I think it's going to be the flower.
Yep.
And the weather agrees, because it's now pouring down rain. Right. So we've locked in the flower dancer, which is fabulous. And yeah. I think it has to be a nice sort of like red, orange, like maybe like a
like it has to have like, I'm seeing either
a burnt orange,
I'm seeing like a red flower.
Yeah, I'm seeing a darker, reddy, orangey kind of like, root to sacral chakra color.
Yeah, and it's gonna have like green at the top, so like in this area where it's going by her torso, this will be like green, so it's like where the stem is at the top of the flower, and then this is the red, and then you're gonna have the green and the yellow, teal, and purple background, and then you're gonna have the stage, and the people are probably gonna be like in the shadow, like because if she's in like they're gonna be like, I'm not seeing very descript face, like how you see like a crowd, but you're not focusing on the crowd, so like they're there, but you're not the focus, so something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking as well. So no definition in the crowd. It's real full focus, and on the dancer. She's very bright. She's very shining. So,
and then I have too many windows up. Okay, and then the last one, the yurt. Okay, so the yurt. What I noticed as I was drawing it is that it's a busy card, okay? Like it has to be a busy card because there's a lot of like going on.
It has to be a busy card, but it is also a busy card. Yeah. Like I feel the energy of the card is very busy.
Yeah. So this is what I have for the yurt. Hold on, can't see myself. There we go. So this would be all right, so this is in the front, and this is happening like progressively in the background. So in the front, you'd have like you'd see like the top of the cauldron.
Yep. And
the people throwing things inside the food inside the cauldron. So you get that jovial atmosphere. Then I had like a couple of people pointing towards the yurt. This would be the yurt. You'd have the background. It would be really, you have to kind of choose between, like, if you want to put the pig in, like, where are you going to put it? Like, you could put it, I guess, in the front here, but it would be tiny. It would have to be tiny. You can't have the pig in the cauldron on the same space. It would have to be like maybe here. If you put it in the back, you're not going to really see it. So
yeah.
I could take the cauldron out and put the pig in, and somebody rolling the pig.
Yeah, I'm worried we might offend too many people with a pig.
Yeah.
I think the cauldron is potentially more. Yeah, part of me really wants a pig though. Part of me really wants a pig. But I also don't want the pig to be the focus. You know, it's a pig on the spit. It's food. I just want it to be like food.
Yeah. Well, there's food being thrown inside the cauldron. So there's food in there that's being thrown.
All right.
That
will be enough. That will be enough, I think. I'm conflicted.
If you want, I can put the pig in, but you have to choose.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm conflicted. No, we'll keep to the cauldron. I think it would be more universally accepted.
What, the cauldron?
Yeah, I think the cauldron would be more universally accepted.
You could put a chicken in the cauldron if you want. Put a chicken in the cauldron.
It's just like every
feathers everywhere, you know, like have somebody hold the chicken over the cauldron.
Yes. Pig idea is still a good one. What do you guys reckon? Cauldron or pig? Pig is so earthy. It's food. It's also a creature. I don't know, folks. I don't know. There's also so much cultural richness in a family stew. Yeah, that's true. Pig, cauldron. Oh, it's gonna be so tough. I'm just saying. We could have a living pig, just like little living pig running around in the background, like, and then it's implied he could end up in the stew.
I can put a little pig in there. You want me to put a little pig in there? I have to look up what a little pig looks like, like a real one. I'll draw Porky Pig, you know. It's like because I've seen a lot of cartoons with pigs. So, oh my gosh, they're so cute.
They really are.
Aw. Maybe it shouldn't be a baby pig because then it's too sad. Maybe it has to be.
Well, it's not going under the knife. It could just literally be a pet pig.
What if they're holding a baby pig?
Yeah, then they might think that they're putting them in the pot. But if the baby pig's in the background somewhere, sort of like happily running around, so maybe little child's chasing it, it could just have a nice little, you know, familial element there.
So a baby pig in the background, is that, yeah. So we don't want them holding the pig in their arms by the cauldron.
No, even I don't want that.
Okay. I will put it
in you could actually do a pig being chased by a dog or a cat. Like, just have a little humor, just a little family humor. Something that you would actually see at somebody's barbecue going, hey, the cat's chasing the pig. Like, a little bit of like, that's happening.
Uh-huh. Okay. Let me see. How does a little pig? Okay. What does a little pig look like? There we go. There's a little pig. Little pig, let me in.
Half, and I'll blow your house in. So
you quoting things from.
Oh, it's all in good fun, isn't it, folks?
All right, so we said a little pig that's being chased by a dog, you said?
Or a cat. Maybe something funnier. What would be funnier? What would look funny? What creature would look funny chasing a pig?
A mouse.
That would be funny, yeah. I'm just trying to think. Maybe it could be the other way around. Maybe it could be the pig chasing the big dog.
You could have a little chicken chasing it. Like a
yeah, have a chicken chasing it. They're the two that we decided that we spoke about putting in the cauldron. Why not have them in a little parody moment in the background?
See, the chicken and the pig.
A hedgehog. That would have been good too.
Okay, and there's the chicken. I'll look for a chicken. Chicken.
A goose? What about a goose? Little flappy, little outdoor flappy arms. What do you call it? Like wings?
Yeah, that would work. That would look cute.
Yeah.
Flappy goose. Yep.
Here's just a little fun side story. My husband got glasses last year or the year before sometime. I've never seen him in his glasses, not ever. I've never once looked at his face and seen him in his glasses. He leaves them at work. He uses them for work. And then we brought them home because he's on leave now. And I asked him to put it on. He's like, nah. He just won't wear his glasses in front of me.
Why?
He doesn't like them. I just can't even imagine him in glasses. Like, it's the weirdest thing. I just want him to put them on his damn face. Like, why can't he do that? He's such a weirdo.
Okay, here's the pig and here's the little pig with the goose. I plopped him in. Hold on. There's the goose chasing the little pig.
Ah, yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that completes it. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe we could put a nice full moon in the sky too. So it's it's daytime. It's daytime.
Are you sure you want to do that? Because you have the moon present in all the cups.
Yeah, that's true. No, just leave it as a nice little daytime afternoon sort of thing.
The sun can be present, like a
yeah. The sun would be nice.
Can have like a sun with rays and the sky at the top with the yellow and the teal and all
that. A white goose.
So we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles.
Yes.
Okay.
There we have it. And we're 2 hours and 10 minutes in. Sorry, 2 cards. Decisions to be made, conceptualizing to do, reveals to have been done. That's 2 very good hours. Imagine if we could do this in just one, Anna. Wouldn't that be joyful? Oh my gosh. All right, folks. Well, there you have it. I sincerely hope that you have been nourished by this experience, particularly those of you who have been closely following the deck and who have ordered the deck. You know, if you've pre-ordered the deck, and it's a big call to pre-order something that's not finished, and you get to see it still unraveling in front of you. So I appreciate those who have placed so much trust in both myself and Anna in in our process to deliver to you an astounding, beautiful deck. And you know, the book is coming along. It's coming along quite nicely. And you will see for yourself that the descriptions in the guidebook are divided, as in there is quite a bit of substance to the majors, and then the minors. There's still a good bit of information there, but it's not as perhaps elaborate. You know, I know for the Emperor, I've got like the narrative is really long for the Emperor. For the, you know, for the Strength card, the narrative is really long for the Strength card. So I went a bit bigger with those. So yeah, it's very rough draftish, and we're all getting there. Well, my part's rough, Anna's part's like pristine. So we are doing it, folks. We are doing it. So we're there. We're at the 10 now, which means that we've just got the 4 court cards of the majors to go, and then the images will essentially be complete. And that will give us the opportunity then to print out a tester deck and have a look at it and flip through each of the cards and see how that's going. So we'll definitely do a bash for that. The unboxing of the tester deck. We'll have to do that. And yeah.
And if you haven't seen, Avalon put a video with the cards up to, I believe, the wands. So you can see all the cards in progression that we did.
That's exactly right. So I've got that up on my channel now. And if you're interested in supporting our project, then please share it around. I've said this before, I don't pay for advertising. I've not paid for advertising, and I'm not really big on just blah, blah, blahing about it. Like, you will see social media, everybody shares their blogs, everybody shares their this. Like, I'm not always sharing images of the Bonestone. I don't want to force it on people. That's not my approach. I don't force my readings on people. I don't want to force my deck on people. I just want to create something that is so beautiful that it naturally attracts the right people. And if the right person is attracted to it, if the right person sees that video and then the right person feels that like they want to share it, then by all means, it needs to be a totally authentic act. It can't be something that I'm like, share this now, share it with everybody. I'm just going to go crazy with it and share it. Like, that's just not my style, folks. I'm a Taurus. I'm far more calm about things, and you know. And plus it means a lot to me. The Bonestone means a lot. It's my very first tarot deck, and I've put a lot of, you know, a lot of heart and soul. I don't just want to put it out there in a kind of like a meaningless way and have, you know, the wrong kinds of people see it and tear it apart. We've got a nice little tribe going here, folks. We've got a lot of nice community members. We've got tarot community members. We've got pagan community members. So witchy tarot folk here. They're my peeps. They're my peeps. So that's it. Right, folks. So we're going to leave it at that. Tune in for our next Bonestone Bash, where we shall be tackling the start of the court cards. At least Dionysus is the page.
Yeah.
And the reason people are like, oh, Dionysus, he's the patron god of drink. No, he's the patron god of debauchery, like carnal pleasures. And if you know about the cult of Dionysus, you will agree with me. Carnal pleasures, right? So that's why I went for him, because he's all body, baby. He's all hands-on. And then we have to decide whether Lilith will occupy warrior status in knight or queenly status. And if she occupies queenly status, then it's going to be Baba Yaga that sits at knight, which doesn't fit well. So I don't know. Will they end up being the final result? Ooh, I like the idea of Baba Yaga as queen. She's so... Anyways, that's from your neck of the woods, Anna. Like, what's your experience with Baba Yaga?
The story that I knew growing up is a little different. We used to call her Baba Dokia. You know, it's a similar kind of like she had a daughter that she kept in the mountains, and it was something like every year she would remove a couple of, she would wear multiple coats, and during the like in March, you would pick a day in March from like the 1st to like the 10th or something. And that day would represent how your day would be, because Baba Dokia would kind of go through and take one of her coats off every day. So that would kind of match the season. The day is how your day is going to be. So it's a little different, the folklore that I'm accustomed to. So
I like that. I really like that. Yes,
but I know that I know in Russia they have a different version of her. She's riding around in like there's a cauldron and a broom, and she has like a little house
with chicken legs.
What?
With chicken legs, a little house with chicken
Yeah.
legs.
She would like take skulls and put skulls, and like princes would go on quests, and she would make them do certain things, and if they would fail, they would should like kill them or something like that, and take their head. So there's different versions.
She was the boogeyman in one and the seasonal queen in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I like her as the seasonal queen.
Yeah, the way like she would have like all the coats on her, but she was mean in my version too. Like she kept her daughter. I have to go back and reread the folklore. I mean, this was like 20 years ago when I read it, but actually more. They would read it to us in storytelling, as a kid. But yeah, so she wasn't a very nice person.
I think that most archetypal energies, goddesses, deities that were depicted as not very nice were just misconstrued. You ask the right person, is Avalon a nice person? And they will tell you that I'm a raging fucking bitch. I'm an evil whore. That you ask the right person, and I'm going to be an asshole. You better believe it. The same goes for anybody, So it really comes down to who wrote the legend and how did they personally feel about it. And if they were wronged in some way, then it's going to be a negative account. If they were healed or blessed or impressed in some way, it's going to be a positive account. So it's a little bit like the colic, she's hag one moment, she's a woman the next moment, she's like, I just love these old crone goddesses. These old crone goddesses, there's a lot more to them, right down to the way that people choose to depict them. The way they choose to depict them, that's the very beginning of their own feelings towards that archetypal energy. And that comes from perhaps the collective unconscious or a very subconscious ancestral place, or perhaps the deity has wronged them in some way. You never know.
You have a couple of questions. One is Pixie Dust is asking, which deck annoys you the most in terms of design?
The Fountain Tarot. And the Mystic Dreamer Tarot.
Ah, yes.
And the Tarot of the Goddess, is it the Tarot of the Goddess?
What about the Good Tarot?
No, I actually don't have a problem with the imagery of the Good Tarot. I have a problem with the idea.
And then somebody asked something else. Okay, somebody's saying, okay, bunny kisses. Anna, raven chasing the goose, chasing the pig. Raven chasing the goose, chasing the pig. That would be funny, yeah. Lori is asking, when will be the next bash? Well, that depends on Avalon here.
It depends. It just depends on timing for me personally. I've got a lot of writing to do. My kids will be back on Friday morning, and so today's Thursday, and I've also got readings to do as well that I've been putting off while the kids have been away so that I can do this writing. I know that, when I've got readings to do, and I need to have a nice quiet house, my husband can at least take, one of my children or all of my children out for at least an hour or two, and I can get 2 readings done there. But for me to really get stuck into the writing, I need massive loads of continuous time. So I've just made the most of this as my writing / creative time, and I've gotten through it quite a bit. So I've probably got to do some readings this afternoon and a bit more writing, and then I'm going to go to yoga and a concert, because that's my reward. That's my reward for all the hard work that I've been doing.
With you. I don't want to.
Come with me. Come with me. Jump on your cauldron broom and come on with me.
For me, it's Thursday. It's going to be Thursday, so I have to do everything again.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I want to go to yoga.
I'm going to restorative yoga as well, which is the relaxation yoga, like the deep breathing, the stretching, the bolsters, the really cushioned, yummy, warm hug yoga. That's what I'm going to do. So
nice.
Wish me luck. I haven't been for a couple of weeks because I've been too busy, but I have to make some time for self-care because my arm is hurting from RSI. I just recently fixed my shoulder blade because of posture and writing and sitting here and doing work. A lot goes into it behind the scenes, guys. I don't think that many people actually realize how many continuous hours go in. Like, I don't have holidays. I don't have days off. I go away to on trips, but I'm still doing stuff while I'm away on trips and make sure that I put time aside to do all my work. So I work when I'm at my sister's house. I work when I'm, down at the beach. I work here at home quite a bit. My husband and children are forever going away and leaving me at home so that I can work. So I don't get holidays. I haven't had a holiday for about 3 years. Not a succinct, complete holiday. I go to visit my in-laws, take my stuff down there with me. I'm doing readings down there. I'm doing videos. I'm doing, writing, and I'm at that stage now where it's been pointed out to me that I just need to take a bit of a break, which is why I'm pushing myself so hard to get all the writing done so I can at least have a little bit of a rest and then get stuck into creating the tarot course that I'm doing for Tarot Summer School this year. So I'm putting a lot of time and effort into that, and I want to be done by June because I'm going away with my family in June. So everything has to be complete by June.
Well, we're going to be by then.
I beg your pardon?
We're going to be done with the deck by then, by June. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've still got to do a lot of work for the Tarot Summer School course as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's something that I've got to do writing and video for. So if I can just, do 2 lessons a day, that's what I'm going to aim for. I like to have about, at least 10 to 15 components, little modules to my course. I've got Ritual Tarot up there. So if anybody's ever taken Ritual Tarot, you'll be able to see that, I've got a lot of written and I've also got a lot of video content there. And so I want to do it a little bit differently this year because last year was my first crack at it. So I'm going to be doing, what I would love? I would love to have the deck finished so that I can use my own deck in this particular course, because then I won't feel so guilty about sharing photographs of it. I like to photograph a lot of stuff. I like to photograph a lot of my decks, but I know that perhaps the artists don't really want you to use the entire deck. And, the way that I use other people's decks, I try to be incredibly respectful. And, when I'm unboxing a deck, I don't actually show the whole deck itself because, that would be illegal for me to do here in Australia. So I would like to be able to just work with my own deck, because I honestly think that meditation and path working with the Bonestone is going to be fucking amazing.
Well, the thing is, the cards, the way I make them, they are already in the template. So it's really just a matter of clicking, saying save, and uploading to a printer website. It's not, just converting them into.
Right.
So they're
That's exciting.
They're pretty much in the template. The only thing is you have to, I have to actually pull proofs just to make sure that the colors look right. But otherwise they're, and the uploading really only takes like maybe 10 minutes because they're already created at the same size. So it's mostly what is going to take a lot of time is the actual printer. not the tester, the printer with the book is going to take a little while. To put it
editing is going to take a little while as well.
The most is going to take the book and the box. The cards are done. They're, there's not much. I mean, aside from color variations, which usually the printers will fix, there's not much they can do. It's the book with the text and the flowing and moving the text around and making sure that it's, everything is falling and putting, laying out the whole book. That is the most time consuming, and the editing.
Yeah.
But you should be able to have, like, once we're done, like if we're done, say today is Monday and we're done on a Monday, and I pull proof on, say, Tuesday or Wednesday, you could theoretically order a tester on a Thursday and get it like a week after. So it's not that problem. So you should have a tarot school.
Yeah, that would be exciting, actually. If I could just work with my deck for that one. That would be great. That would just be great. Can I just say how great that would be? And then anybody who wants to take the course can see how I'm going to be using the deck.
She'll be like screaming through the whole thing. She'll be so giddy. She'll be like,
I'm that excited when I open other people's decks. Imagine how excited I'm going to be when I open mine. I will probably cry. That is a definite reality. Or I won't, because I'll just strap my big girl panties on and just rejoice and have a beer or a wine. And a little cheers.
All right, guys.
But I should try to get proofs together, Anna. You get a proof at the same time as I get a proof. We'll jump on and unbox it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But I was actually going to suggest that anyway, mostly because if I pull a proof for me, that's all well and good. I can look at it and say that it's fine. But if you have that exact same proof that I have, then you can tell me if something's off.
Yeah. No, I kind of have to, because if everything looks okay on your proof and on my proof, and then you get the decks from the printer with the 400 GSM paper, and they don't look right, it's not us and that it's them.
Yeah.
Like, you already test them ahead of time.
Yeah. So I'm a bit excited. All right, folks. Well, I'm going to leave it at that. Wishing everybody so much love, luck, peace, and joy. I sincerely hope that you've enjoyed this collaborative session and this Bonestone Bash. Please know that the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot is currently available for pre-order on my Etsy store. The link is in the description box below. There is 231 or 33 copies left, and I will be printing no more. I can't envision it. If I do a second edition, it's going to be something a little bit different, guys. So just know that. Right. There we have it. See you later, folks. Talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Take care.